Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the last lecture, we have discussed the array indexing type called slicing. In this lecture, we will discuss another indexing type called integer indexing. In this type of indexing, an integer array is used to specify the indices of the other array. It is more flexible than basic slicing techniques, indexing techniques like slicing. Integer array represent the number of indexes of the target array. Integer array indexes permit to access items out of order. It is not possible in the slicing to extract the subarray out of order. We can change the step value, but it is not possible to extract the subarray in an irregular pattern. Unlike slicing, integer arrays indexing returns the copy of the original array rather than its view. So here is a array in which there are 12 elements, and there is another array in which there are 3 elements. These 3 elements will be used as the indices for the above array. If we use the second array as a subscript for the above D array, so we will get the following values. So 1, 6, 3 are the indexes for the above array, where we want to extract these elements stored at these indices. 1 because 2 is stored at the index 1, 7 is stored at index 6, and 10 is stored at index 11. So here is a array. Let's say for example, this is array. Now we want define another array, let's say x, in which we will specify the indices for the above array. So these are the indexes. Let's say 4, 7 and 10. So if we use this x array as a subscript from the above array, so it will return the following values. Okay. So 14, 17 and 19. So here we are using the integer array as indices for the above array. X is basically an integer array in which we have specified 3 indices at 14. 14 is actually stored at the index 4 in the above array. Similarly, 17 is stored at 7 and 19 is stored at 9 indices. So the index array can have arbitrary shape. Resulting array will match the shape of the indexing array. For example, the above array is one-dimensional array. If we specify the another array, if we specify the indices as a two-dimensional array, so it will return the sub-array in a two dimensions. For example, here is another array y, np.array, and we want to specify the two-dimensional array, let's say 3, and 4, 3 and 5. So now use this array as index for the above array y. So basically the resulting array is two-dimensional array, although the A1 is a one-dimensional array. So resulting array will match the shape of the indexing array. If we specify, let's say, another array z, np dot array 1 1. So this is also a two-dimensional array with 3 row and 1 column. Now using this array as a subscript for the above array A1 and Z, so we will get the following. So here we have 3 values, because 11 is stored at the index 1, 13 at the index 3 and 14 at index 4, but the resulting array is two-dimensional array. So it will always match the shape of the indexing array. Here is another example. We have a two-dimensional array with 4 rows and 2 columns, and here we have mentioned the indices for this array 0, 1, 2 and 0, 1, 0, 1. It means that we are going to select 0, 1 and 2 rows and zeros, again 0 and then first columns. So after using this array as a subscript for the above array, so we will get the following values. X 0, 1, 2 and 0 0 means pick 0, row 0 and 1 and 2. From 0 row pick 1 index element, and from 0 to pick 1 elements. So here is an example. For example, we have a array. This is our array. Now we want to specify the indices np array so 0, 1, 2. We are going to select we are to pick the row 0, 1 and 2, and to pick the 0, 0 and 1 column. Now print x is our array and y will be used as a indices for the above array. Now running this, so we will get sorry, this is 1, not F10. So now running this, so we will get this. So let's say because now this is actually three-dimensional array. Three-dimensional array because we have specified the array as a two-dimensional. So as we know that normally it return the indexing array can have arbitrary shape. So this is actually a three-dimensional array. So if we use for example, like this one. So it will return the 0, 1 and 2 rows. 10, 20, 34 and 2. This is the first row, 0 row, this is the second row and this is the third row. So in this way you can specify different, if you specify let's say like you can also specify directly in the X like this one. So we will get the, for example, print X. So here is 0, 1, 2 and column 0, 0 and 1. So we will get the following result: 10, 30 and 60. Basically we are picking 0, 0 elements stored at 0, 0, 1, 0 and 2, 1. Actually 10 is stored at 0 row and 0 columns. Similarly 30 is stored at 1 row and 0 column, and last the 60 is stored at 2 row and first column. Two rows mean third row actually, because indices starts from the 0. So similarly we can test different indexes to extract the values. Here is another example. This is the array of 4 rows and 3 columns. So if we specify the row, let's say as a numpy array with one element which contains the one values. So this is actually array of only one elements, and this is the array of also one element which will be used as a column with the 0 element. It means that we are going to select the first row, and in the first row we are going to select the value at the 0 column. So after using this XRC, this is the X array, so it will return the 17, this value. Similarly, if we specify so let's say we demonstrate this array. Okay, so let's say this is the array. This is the array of the above array with 4 rows and 3 columns. Now we specify the row, for example, np dot array with only one element, and column np dot array with this. Now print X, R and C. So it will return the value which is stored at the 0 row, at the second row and 0 column. 17. So 17 actually this is the because the 17 in the above array is stored at the second row and first column, 0 column. Similarly, if we specify the row np dot array, and then we specify the two-dimensional array 2 2 and 3 3, and column as np dot array uh, 0 2 and 0 2. So we are extracting values stored at these indices. Let's say print x is our array, so R and C. Okay, actually this is a two-dimensional array. Okay, 23, 27, 29 and 30. So 23, 27, 20. So basically we are picking values at 2 0, 2 2, 3 0 and 3 2. Actually 23 is stored at the 2 0 row, in a third row and 0 columns. So similarly we can specify the different indices for the loading. We can combine the basic slicing with the integer indexing. In this example we are combining both. In the first array, this is for example x, this is the array x. So we are going to extract the rows 1 2 3, yani second row and third row. Similarly, so it will go from the 1 2 and up to 3. Up to 3 means the last fourth one. Similarly, we are going to select the columns from 1 to 2, first column and second column and third column, because second. So this is actually slicing the first in the Z array. In the Y array we are combining both. We are selecting rows as using the slicing technique, where columns we are going to select the columns using the integer indexing array, because this is the array of two elements, so first and second. So these elements will be selected. The output of both arrays Z and Y is the same. The both Z and Y store the same values. All these metrics will be returned. Similarly, if we have a array of three dimensions, any the given array is a three-dimensional array. So basically a three-dimensional array is the stack of matrices. So in this array there are two blocks, and every block contains 3 rows and 4 columns. So it means that 3 subscripts are required to extract the values. First subscript specifies the block, second row, and the third subscript specifies the column in the array. So here we are creating a different array for every subscript. ID1 0 0, ID2 0 1 0, ID3 0 1 2. So then we are using these three arrays as a subscript for the Z array. So it will return 0, 5 and 10. Because we are picking values at 0, 0, 0, means that we are picking the values from the 0 block in the 0 row and at the 0 columns. So which is 0. Similarly, then we are going to pick the values stored in the 0 block in the second row and in the second column, which is 5. And similarly, then we are going to select the values from the 0 block, third row and third column, so which is 10. So it will return this. Similarly, we can use, we can specify this array like this one also. For example, let's say we demonstrate this with example. So this is a three-dimensional array. Now to just to display the first matrix, so it will display the first matrix. Zero, 1, 2. So let's say we specify the different indexes of this one. For example, here so there are, now we want to extract the value stored at these indexes. So let's say we write our array is A3 and this is ID1, ID2 and ID3. In this case we are using three integer arrays, and one array is used to identify specifies the block in the three-dimensional array. The second identifies the rows, and third specifies the columns in the three-dimensional array. So this is the output. At 0, 0, because at 0 actually 0 is stored in the array. Then 0, 1, 1, 0 block, second row and second column, 5 stored, and so on. So in this way we can specify the different integer arrays used as a subscript. So in next video we will discuss the Boolean indexing technique. Thank you.